My name is Vivian. I live in a small town. This town is next to the sea. It is a quiet place. Most people here know each other. My house is small, but it is warm and comfortable. I live there with my son, Mike. For many years, people in town have seen me in one way. They see me as a quiet woman. They think I am a strong, single mother. They believe I am kind and simple. They do not know the real truth about me. They do not know about my big secret. Mike is my son. He is a good boy. He is very smart and kind. He is full of dreams for his future. Mike is a young man now. He wants to leave this small town. He talks about going to a big city. He wants to find a bigger life there. He wants to study and work. He dreams of a future far from here. I listen to his dreams. I smile and encourage him. But deep inside, I worry. I worry about what will happen if my secret comes out. The biggest part of my secret is about Mike's father. No one in this town knows who his real father is. Not one person. And Mike, my own son, does not know this truth either. He thinks he knows everything about his family, but he does not know who his real father is. This secret has been with me for a very long time. It is a heavy secret to carry every day. I keep it hidden from everyone. I hide it from my friends. I hide it from my neighbors. Most importantly, I hide it from Mike. My life looks calm and normal on the outside. I go to work. I take care of our home. I spend time with Mike. But inside, I carry this big truth with me always. It is a truth that can change everything for us. I hope it never comes out. I want to protect Mike from it. I want to protect our quiet life here in this small town. But I know that secrets are very hard to keep forever. Sometimes they find a way to come out. I live each day hoping that today is not the day my secret will be found. This fear is always with me. I worry about how Mike will feel if he learns the truth. He trusts me completely. He thinks I have told him everything. But I have not told him about his father. This is my biggest fear. This is my secret. 2. The rich man. His name was Nicholas. Everyone in our small town knew him well. He was the richest man here, a very powerful person. Nicholas owned many important places in town. He owned the big hotels that stood by the beautiful sea. He also owned the best restaurants where people went for special dinners. Even the school my son, Mike, would later go to belonged to him. Nicholas lived in a very large house. It was on the highest hill in town, looking down on everything. People said he had more money than anyone could ever spend. Many years ago, long before my son Mike was born, I worked in one of Nicholas's fine restaurants. I was a waitress there, serving food and drinks to many people. I was very young then, only 19 years old. It was a long time ago, but I remember every detail clearly. Nicholas was older than me, perhaps by 20 years. He had dark, neat hair and a strong, handsome face. He also had a kind smile that made me feel warm, but he was a married man. He had a wife, Catherine, and they lived in the big house on the hill. One day, he started talking to me more often. He would ask about my day. He said nice things that made me blush. He told me his marriage was not real love. He said it was only for business, a partnership, not a family. He told me he loved me. I was young and very innocent. I believed his every word. I felt special when he looked at me, like I was the only person in the world. I thought he was different from other rich men. I loved him too, very much. Our time together was a secret. I did not tell anyone, not even my best friend. I thought we would have a future, a life together. But then, everything changed very quickly. I found out I was going to have a baby. I was scared, but I was also filled with a new kind of happiness. I thought Nicholas would be happy too, that he would want to start a family with me. I told him the news, my heart beating fast, but his face changed. He did not smile. He became very quiet and cold. He gave me a lot of money, more money than I had ever seen. He told me to take it. He said I must not tell anyone about the baby. He said I must not talk to him ever again. He just disappeared after that day. He left me alone to face everything by myself. I was very sad. I felt lost and betrayed. I never saw him again after that day. I never called him. I kept his secret for many, many years. I raised my son alone, working hard every day. It was not easy, but I did it. I kept quiet, just like he asked. Until now, the truth was hidden. 3, the old letter. It was a dark and rainy night. The wind blew hard outside our small house. Rain hit the windows. I felt tired. I had been looking at some old things, old memories. I left some old letters on the kitchen table. I did not think much about it. It was a small mistake, but it changed everything. Mike came into the kitchen. He had finished his homework. He saw the papers on the table. He was a curious boy. He picked up one old, yellow envelope. It felt thin and old in his hand. He saw a name written on it. It was a name I knew well. It was the name of Nicholas. Mike opened the letter slowly. His eyes moved across the words. At first, he looked confused. Then his face changed. His eyes opened wide. His hands began to shake. He read the words again, more slowly this time. The letter was short. Its words were very cruel. It said, "You are nothing to me. This child is not mine. Do not come near my family." Mike stood very still. His eyes were full of tears. He looked at me not with confusion anymore, but with a deep sadness and anger. He held the old letter tight in his hand. His voice was quiet, almost a whisper, but I heard every word clearly. "Is he my father?" he asked. My heart stopped. I froze completely. I could not move. I could not speak. The world around me seemed to become silent. The sound of the rain outside disappeared. All I could see was Mike's face, full of pain. In that moment, I knew our quiet life was over. The secret I had kept for so long was no longer safe. Mike had found the truth, or at least part of it. His world was shaken. My world was shaken. The comfort of our small home, the peace we had built, it all began to break apart. Mike's question hung in the air, heavy and full of unspoken hurt. This was the moment. The truth was starting to come out. There was no going back now. Our quiet life, our simple days, they were gone forever. 4. The sun leaves. The next morning, Mike woke up early. He did not eat breakfast. He went to his room and began to pack his bag. His hands moved fast. He put his clothes inside. He put his books inside. His face was hard. He looked very angry. The letter from Nicholas was still in his mind. He hated the lies. He wanted to know the truth. He wanted to meet Nicholas. He wanted to see the man who wrote those cruel words to me. He wanted answers. I watched him from the doorway. My heart felt very heavy. It felt like a stone in my chest. I knew what he was doing. He was going to Nicholas. I had to stop him. "Mike," I said softly. My voice was quiet. "Please do not go. Think about this more." Mike stopped packing. He looked at me. His eyes were not soft. They were full of anger. "No, Mother," he said. His voice was strong. "I must go. I need to know. I need to see him now." He closed his bag. He picked it up. It was heavy. He walked past me. I reached out my hand to touch his arm, but he kept walking. He walked out of our small house. The door closed behind him with a soft sound. I stood alone in the quiet room. Tears came to my eyes. I felt a great fear. My quiet life was ending. Mike was leaving. He was going to find a man who did not want him. He was going to face a hard truth. Mike walked quickly down the street. He did not look back. He walked past the small shops. He walked past the old church. He walked until he reached the edge of town. Then he started walking up the big hill. The hill was steep. It was a long walk, but Mike kept going. He walked with purpose. He walked with anger. He walked towards the biggest house in town. The house belonged to Nicholas. It was a very large house made of stone. It stood high on the hill, looking over everything below. Mike walked to the front door. It was a big, heavy door. He raised his hand. He knocked very hard. Boom, boom, boom. The sound was loud in the quiet morning. After a moment, the door opened slowly. Nicholas stood there. He looked at Mike. He looked surprised. He did not know Mike. He did not know why this young man was at his door. Mike looked at Nicholas. His eyes were fixed on the older man's face. His voice was loud. It was full of pain and anger. "I am your son," Mike shouted. Nicholas's eyes opened wide. His face changed. He did not speak. Then a woman came to the door. She stood behind Nicholas. She was tall and had a serious face. This was Catherine, Nicholas's wife. She heard Mike's words very clearly. Her face lost all its color. It turned white. Her eyes grew wide. She looked at Mike, then at Nicholas. She did not know this secret. She knew nothing about Mike. This was a big shock for her. This was the start of a very big problem. This was the beginning of a scandal that would change everything. 5. A big surprise. Vivian waited for Mike. 1 week passed slowly. She worried about him every day. Was he safe? What was happening at Nicholas's big house? Her home felt empty without him. She tried to read, but her mind was not calm. She just waited. On the 7th day, Mike came back. It was late afternoon. Vivian saw him walk up the path to their small house. Her heart beat fast. He looked tired, but he was home. Vivian ran to him and hugged him tight. "Mike, oh Mike," she said. She was so happy. She looked at his face. He looked different, older. He had many things to tell her. They went inside. Vivian made him tea. Mike sat at the kitchen table. He took a deep breath. "Mom," he began, "I have big news." First, he spoke about Catherine, Nicholas's wife. "She knew about you, Mom," Mike said. "She knew Nicholas had another woman, but she did not know about me. She did not know Nicholas had a son. This was a big surprise for her." Vivian listened. She thought Catherine might know about her, but not about Mike. Then Mike said something that truly shocked Vivian. "Nicholas is very sick, Mom," Mike said softly. "He has cancer. It is terminal. He is dying." Vivian's eyes grew wide. She could not speak. Nicholas was dying. This was a very big surprise. It changed everything. Mike continued. "And there is more, Mom. Before I went to his house, before he even met me, he put my name in his will." Vivian could not believe it. "His will?" she asked. "Yes," Mike said. He felt guilty. He felt very bad about what he did. He wanted to make things right before he died. He wanted to give me money. This was a huge surprise. Nicholas, who denied Mike, now wanted to give him money because of guilt. Vivian thought about all the years, and now this news. But then Mike told her about Catherine's plan. "Catherine is very angry, Mom," Mike explained. "She does not want me to get any money. She wants all of it for herself. She has a plan to stop me. She hates me. She hates you too now." Vivian felt a cold feeling. This was not over. It was the start of something new and difficult. Mike was back, but he brought big news. News that would change their lives forever. New problems began. 6. A difficult choice. After Mike returned from the mansion, news of Nicholas's illness and Catherine's plan filled our quiet house. One afternoon, a black car stopped outside. It was Catherine. She walked to our door, her face serious and cold. Mike and I were in the living room. She came inside and stood before us. She held a paper. It looked important. "This is for you, Vivian," she said, her voice cold. "It is a contract." My heart beat fast. Mike looked worried. Catherine continued, "If you sign this paper, Mike will get a lot of money when Nicholas dies." She placed the paper on the small table. "Nicholas is very sick. He will not live much longer." Then her voice became harder. but if you do not sign it, things will be bad for you." She looked at me with angry eyes. "I will tell the newspapers and TV many bad things. I will say you are a gold digger, that you only wanted Nicholas's money. I will say you are a homewrecker who broke our family." My face felt hot. My hands shook a little. This was a very difficult choice. I thought about Mike's future. Money could help him reach his dreams. But what about my good name? What about the truth? For many years, I lived with a secret. Catherine now wanted to destroy my name to make me look terrible. It felt very unfair. Mike moved closer, putting his hand on my arm. His eyes showed he was with me, not afraid. This gave me strength. I knew what to do. Money was not important if it meant living another lie. I took the paper. Catherine watched. I did not sign it. Instead, I tore the paper into many small pieces. I let them fall to the floor. Catherine gasped. Her face turned red with anger. Mike stepped forward. He stood tall next to me. "We do not want your money, Catherine," he said clearly. His voice was strong. "We never wanted money. We want the truth. My father is dying. We want the truth to be known." Catherine looked at us, first at me, then at Mike. She looked very surprised, then very angry. She opened her mouth, but no words came. She just looked at the small pieces of paper. Her plan had failed. She turned quickly and walked out. The door closed loudly behind her. Mike and I stood together quietly. We had chosen truth. It was a difficult choice, but we were strong. 7, saying goodbye. Nicholas was very weak. He spent most of his days in bed now. His body was tired from the sickness. One afternoon, he asked to see me. I felt nervous, but I went to his big house on the hill. I walked quietly into his room. His room was large, but Nicholas looked small in his bed. He slowly reached out his hand to me. I took it. His hand felt thin and cold. He looked at me with tired eyes. "I was a coward, Vivian," he said softly. His voice was weak. "I wanted to protect my name more than my own blood. I thought about what people would say. I put that before my own son, before you." He took a deep breath. "But Mike," he continued, "he is a good boy. He is strong. He is kind. That is because of you. You raised him well. You did a good job." His words made my eyes fill with tears. My throat felt tight and I could not speak. Nicholas also had tears in his eyes. We cried together for a long time. It was a sad moment, but it was also a moment of truth and a quiet peace. Nicholas died the next week. His death was not a surprise. He had been very sick for many months, but still, it felt like the end of a long story. After his death, everything changed very fast. The secret of Mike's father was no longer a secret. The town knew, the newspapers knew, the story was everywhere. It was on the television and on the radio. Reporters came to our small town. They wanted to talk to me. They wanted to talk to Mike. It was a difficult time. Many people stared at us when we walked by. They whispered our names, but Mike was strong. He did not hide. He stood tall. One day, a reporter asked him about his father. The reporter asked if he felt ashamed of the scandal. Mike looked straight into the camera. His voice was clear and steady. "I am not ashamed," he said. "I am not ashamed of where I come from. My mother raised me. She taught me to be honest and brave. I am proud of her. I am proud of who I am." When I heard him say this, I cried again. But this time, my tears were different. They were not sad tears. They were tears of pride. My son was brave. He was truly a good man. Our difficult journey was now out in the open, and we faced it together. 8. A new start. Months passed slowly after Nicholas died. The town stopped talking so much. Life started to feel quiet again, but in a good way. Catherine, Nicholas's wife, left the town for good. No one saw her again. She took her plans and her anger with her. Mike received some money from Nicholas's will. It was a big amount, but Mike did not want it for himself alone. He had a big idea. He used the money to open a special school. This school was for children who had difficult lives, maybe without a mother or father. It was for children who had big dreams but little help. Mike wanted to give them a chance to learn and grow, just like he had always wanted to do. He called it the Dreamers' School. I also started a new journey. I opened a small, cozy cafe in the town. I called it Vive's Second Chance. It had warm lights and comfortable chairs. I loved making hot coffee and sweet cakes for my customers. People came to talk and relax. It felt good to be busy and to see happy faces every day. This cafe was my own new beginning. One sunny afternoon, a man walked into my cafe. His name was Daniel. He was a traveler with kind eyes and a soft voice. He loved books and warm coffee. We began to talk. 1 hour turned into 2, and then many more. Daniel listened to my story without judgment. He did not care about my past or the scandal. He simply said, "Everyone has a story, Vivian. Yours just made you stronger." His words were like a warm hug for my heart. I smiled, truly happy for the first time in a long time. Mike came to the cafe often. He was happy with his new school. One day, he brought me a large bunch of colorful flowers. He gave them to me and looked into my eyes. "Mom," he said softly, "you were always both my mother and my father to me." My heart felt so full it could burst with love and pride. I had lost many things in my life, but I had gained so much more. This was my new life. It was a life full of hope, peace, and love.